you go baba down. Cause I'm a beauty baba. Sit next to see me, you go round. Verbal side when I see my face so hot time when I know my place so. Cause I'm a beauty baba. I'm a brand new man, I am a king. I'm born again, never the same. Holy one, yes, we never change. The words are everlasting. Holy go fire, fire, hey. I salute to ancients of days. You never let me down one day. I'm enjoying my heritage. Before they go see me, I go run. Challenge to see me, I go run. But failure see me, I go baba down. Cause I'm a beauty baba. Sickness go see me, I go run. Verbal side when I see my face so hot time when I know my place so. Cause I'm a beauty baba. I'm from above and not beneath. I'm a victor, I never lose so. Take a very good look at me. I'm walking wisdom every day. I see my blessings falling. Change my morning to dancing. I'm changing my level. You will never see me to struggle. Before they go see me, I go run. Challenge to see me, I go run. But failure see me, I go baba down. Cause I'm a beauty baba. Sickness go see me, I go run. Verbal side when I see my face so hot time when I know my place so. Cause I'm a beauty baba. Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire. Counting my blessings. Ghost fire. Never move from behind me. Holy Ghost fire. You don't know me. Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire. Counting my blessings. Challenge to see me, I go run. But failure see me, I go baba down. Cause I'm a beauty baba. Sickness go see me, I go run. Verbal side when I see my face so hot time when I know my place so. Cause I'm a beauty baba. Before they go see me, I go run. Challenge to see me, I go run. But failure see me, I go baba down. Cause I'm a beauty baba. Sickness go see me, I go run. Verbal side when I see my face so hot time when I know my place so. Cause I'm a beauty baba. I'm a brand new man, I am a king. I'm born again, never the same. Holy one, yes, we never change. Your words are everlasting. Holy.
Your CV presented suggests that you are a student at the Maritime Management component of the Nairobi Aviation College. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm a student at the Nairobi Aviation College reading Maritime Management.
Okay. Unfortunately, ma'am, except when I'm looking at the wrong place, there is no mention of maritime on the website of the Nairobi Aviation College. So if you can give me a website, web address where I can verify that, I would appreciate that. Firstly.
Thank you. I can give you my porter. I can give you my ID. You can go on the website.
I need the website address.
Okay.
Please give me.
Can I kindly present it to you by email?
Ma'am, the website address will not be anything hard to give. Just tell me it's www. Just don't say. We are writing down. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Okay.
why is she looking for that? Can people finish the question?
Yeah, I don't want to confuse something.
Yeah. No, she's trying to find the website, so just continue.
So, you were or still are. Your CV presented suggests that you are a student at the Maritime Management component of the Nairobi Aviation College. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm a student at the Nairobi Aviation College reading maritime management.
Okay. Unfortunately, man, except when I'm looking at the wrong place, there is no mention of maritime on the website of the Nairobi Aviation College. So if you can give me a website, web address where I can verify that, I would appreciate that. Firstly.
Thank you. I can give you my porter. I can give you my ID. You can go on the
I need
website.
the website address.
Okay.
Please give it me.
Can I kindly present it to you by email?
Ma'am, the website address will not be anything hard to give. Just tell me it's www. Just and I write it down. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Okay.
So why is she looking for that? Can people finish the question?
Honorable Vice President, today you concluded your testimony here in court, and there are many out there who believe in you. They believe that your testimony here has just brought the opposition to a stage where you lost that value. What do you make of that statement?
Well, thank you. I was not here to testify against. I was here to explain what I know of that transpired over the framework document. We came as colleagues in the interest of this country, and we believe that we are all people of integrity, that we are working together in the interest of the country. If there are things that went wrong, and I've been asked to explain, I'm here to testify on what I know in the interest of the public and to make our people know who we are and what we stand for.
Many from the opposition commented in terms of your testimony against Mr. Cummings, the one-time comrade for the opposition bloc, as his testimony that is in pari passu to show that you are working in alignment with governmental policies. What
The testimony was not against Mr. Cummings. The testimony was to see what we know about the framework document, whether this was the document that we signed, whether it was the document that we expected to have been filed to the NEC. That's what I testified.
Scotland, distinguished colleagues, we passed a national budget last year. We have $72 million in that budget for domestic debt payment. I'm rolling over this as an overview to know why we're still here. During the deliberation on the 2022 budget, we made specific requests, appeals, and demands in fulfillment of the law for budget performance report with specific reference to domestic debt payment listed. $72 million.
86th Constitution gave each and every Liberian the right, reading through Article 13 and 15, to move around freely at every part of our country with no restriction. The same right the president of this country, George Weah, have is the same right Mr. Costa have to move using the Rabat International Airport and plotting every other zone or password in the country. Mr. Costa is expected in the country at 10 o'clock. It's 9:55. In 5 minutes' time, we will march to the terminal to receive our leader. Out of the fence cannot be our boundary. in as much as we intend to maintain the peace and stability, the president has the mantle authority to keep the peace. We are equally prepared to resist any opposite reaction. We must march in to receive the master's leader.
Have you received permission from the state security here to go into the main facility?
We do not need permission from state security to go at the airport. We do not need permission. Henry Pedro Costa supporters don't need permission to go at the terminals. We are moving to the terminal to receive Costa. We don't need permission.
Give the people out there who are listening to you about maintaining the peace and stability of our country.
Well, basically, we believe in peace and stability. This is the reason why all of our gatherings, peace has been the hallmark. On May the 16th, we converged at this airport to receive our leader, Henry Pedro Costa. We gathered at this airport in our thousands. We received Costa and talking to the nation's capital, Monrovia, peacefully. Like we did on June the 7th, we are somewhat peacefully giving our petition to the president of this country to act so that he could make the state better in terms of governance. We should ignore it. Again, we were peaceful. Today we are peaceful. And right now the mandate is we must march in to receive our leader, and nothing can hinder this. Let everyone know that we are going to be peaceful. Any tension at this airport will be the responsibility of the president of this country and the security apparatus. We are going for our leader.
Finally, from my end, and probably my colleague can be able to troop in their questions and concerns. What's the itinerary like for today after receiving Henry Pedro Costa?
Well, like, we're free. We're walking in peacefully at the terminal to receive our leader, Henry Costa. We're going to get Costa, get on the vehicle. We'll drive to Vamuma House. When we get down to Vamuma House, we're going to march up to Seal, where Mr. Costa will officially address the Liberian people. This cannot be hindered. We'll remain peaceful, we'll maintain the peace, but we are also prepared to resist any opposite reaction. The police they are here to protect us. The mandate of the Liberian National Police is to protect us. They are not here to harm us. And again, we have the inborn tendency to protect ourselves. So if the police cannot protect us, we'll protect ourselves. So we believe that they must protect us. And we are marching in to receive our leader. Peacefully, we protect ourselves peacefully. Ben Believe Tokba Jr.
Excuse me.
That's the secretary.
One of the guys, he said he said for
So you listen to him, they will remain peaceful, but this is their barricade, and they are saying that they must go in because they are citizens of Liberia and they are on an obligation as a citizen to move anywhere and anytime. Though we've got news or information that we should not be.
They say, oh, President, we are ready. We can take his live video and enter President We are bedroom. What responsibility as a leader you bring into the table? Who has time for Darius Dillon? Nobody has time for Darius Dillon.
Because he occupies a seat that you want so badly. You consider Monserrato your stronghold. This is the epicenter of Liberian politics. And if he beat you here face down in 2019, then he wants to do that again. That is a repeat of your beating. So that's why you are concerned and obsessed with him.
I can say. Beyond everything, this recording will be here. And I know it will be here. Nobody will delete it from OKFM page. Darius Dillon will be the shortest senator ever in our country history. I'm saying that. The shortest senator.
You cannot be serious.
The shortest. Dillon, Julius, you go West Point, they got more than almost 30 to 40,000 people in West Point.
My friend, brother, how you doing?
AB, I am doing okay. If I have never been grateful to my God, then I should be grateful by now. because I'm alive and I'm well. And if I had never been motivated, then I should be motivated to that at this moment. Because I was able to go to Liberia after 4 years, counting from 2018. And I was there and I watched the politics, poverty, and anger play out in real time. So I'm back, like I posted on Facebook, to the land of freedom and unlimited human opportunities. So that make me feel good. And you know what? I'm grateful to my God and everybody that contributed towards my being on planet Earth as human being, especially my mom. Okay. So Ibi, just to cut it short, I won't go into the conversation right now because it's too early. A lot of people waiting to hear from the Honorable Man Francis Duna. Okay. I'm blowing my own horn. Yeah, so man, I'm doing good. I'm back in North Dakota. Pretty see that behind my computer, something that I miss a lot, especially internet. My phone will not even back up fully because the internet is so weak. But I'm fine.
As for me, I I am doing pretty much good. As you all may be informed, I'm doing pretty much good, and I'm grateful to the Almighty. I'm thankful to the Almighty God that that I'm breathing, and the love that is in me. I'm more thankful to that. Um, but as you said yesterday, you know, my co-host Francis Duna, you'll be telling us his experience. What did he see? What are his thoughts? People are saying Labra is sweet. Labra is sweet. Labra is like a land full of honey. The man is here to tell us flesh and blood about Liberia, about why we should go back home, or why we should not go back home in this regime. Francis Duna is here to tell us. Francis is here to give a vivid analysis, a tete-a-tete, someone will say evidence. Francis is here to give us that this morning. I will be asking him some questions. The flight that landed from here to Liberia, how was that flight? The airport, how is that atmosphere? Like when you arrive to RI, how is that atmosphere? Francis will be telling us that this morning. My friend, brother, not to bore you too much, welcome. Welcome back home. Here is our home. It's a where you find life. It's classified your home.
Yep.
Where you find life.
Mm-hmm.
The United States have provided light for us, so we call it our home. Welcome.
All right, Mr. Kamara, thank you very much. This morning we're going to be a little bit brief because we're still getting all of the observational reports downloaded into our system. But like I said initially, let me be first and foremost grateful to my Creator for taking me safely to and from Liberia. And I also want to offer special thank you to some people, especially my family members, because I went all the way down behind Kolahun district, all of majority of the homes. I went to Popalahun, which is my hometown. I participated in the Quranic program in Masambolahun. Went to Lehoma, went to Pengbelahun, a few from Lufa County, especially the Bandiland. And I also went to Mowiansu. So I want to say a special thank you to my parents. My mom and dad, they are right there, super happy. And also special thank you to my big brother and the CEO of our family business, Amarake Duno, the Good Brothers Group, and also my other senior brother, brother Seiko, Seiko Duno, who also took me all over the place after staying away for about 15 years away from Lofa County, now away from Liberia. Another special thank you to my Peking, my little brother, who provided me with motorcycle kind of transportation around Monrovia, especially. And my big sisters, smaller ones, and everybody, I want to say thank you. And to some of my good friends too. We talk behind the scenes. Some people got annoyed with me because I needed to carry on my own terrain management. But I want to say you're sorry, okay? It was not done on purpose. It was just because of the way our country looking at right now under George Weah. So that is the reasons why the trip was the way it was. Hopefully, we can do better 2023 by voting out George Weah so that when we go to Liberia, other people that live there wouldn't put fear in us. But AB, let me get to the issue. Liberia is fearful. Let me be honest with you. AB, I pick up from here on the 7th May, and I had a layover in Chicago for a couple of hours. After that, I catch a United Airlines Airbus to Brussels. Few hours later, I got on Brussels and we flew to Abidjan, from Abidjan to Liberia. Primarily, Brussels got two fundamental reasons why they have to land into a nearby country before going to Liberia. Number one is the issue of customer base. Number two is the issue of safety. Primarily, safety comes first because we've been having the issue of shortage of electricity going off on airplanes. So Brussels have designed a way where they must always land into a nearby country and make sure the light is on in Liberia at RRA before they can even take the second step to fly there. So they have selected three countries. They either land in Sierra Leone, Lunge Airport, or they land in the Gambia's Banjul International Airport, or they land in Guinea for Liberia flight. So every time the flight landed from America all the way to Liberia, it was always smooth and almost like jolly jolly. For those of you who have traveled a little bit more than me, you know how enjoyable airplane is. I know it. And Brussels flight that goes to Liberia approximately will be like 600 seats around there. But this is a discomfort on the basis of business. Brussels goes to Liberia and get the plane done, and everybody will have to clap for the pilot because the way the plane lands. I literally asked one of the crew members to really figure out what was going on. How can we struggle so bad to land? And I was told that it is super difficult to land in Liberia because the opportunity the pilots has with other countries where they use the GPS to see everything, including light, they are using imagination to land in Liberia. The lighting is not super okay, and Liberia have not yet subscribed because we don't have the technology to subscribe to the GPS system. Every single airplane that is in the air today, based on the information I gather, they use the ALPA kind of advanced ALPA GPS system where they're able to see the four corners of the plane from the back, and they can literally see where they are going, unlike Liberia. That's what I was told. I'm not an aviation authority person. I'm just a common man, but I like to know, so I ask questions. But the good news is we appreciate our God. We landed safely and we got out of the plane. The first thing I didn't realize was I didn't know that people could recognize me from that flight when we landed finally and got out of the airplane in Liberia until somebody called me by my name and used the word that I used before I left. Is it the kid? And I started looking around. And it was a grandma. Then she called my name. And she asked me, "How you doing, my son?" I said, "Be careful." Right there. Right there, grandma said to me, "Be careful." Saying you are in Liberia, be careful. So before even leaving the airport, I already have fear in me. So folks that came to pick me up too, my own family people and some friends, they said, "Be careful." I said, I think I will be okay in this country. I mean, like the way I usually do things, because I'm somebody who is politically sensitive. And y'all know that for sure. So we drove from RIA all the way to, EAWA City Center. We were not disturbed, honestly. The guy trying to do small thing at the airport, at the gate together, but my body just showing someone an ID card and he let her go. That was nice. So I got to Liberia. I stayed in a place that was not super known to majorities of my family members, including good friends, considering the terrain management as it relates to what is happening in our country. Majority of the people are super angry because of poverty and hard time. So I decided to visit my family lawyer. And by the time I got there, he said, "My man, you know what? You are in Liberia, right?" I said, "Yes." He too said, "Be careful. You see, everything you're doing in America, I look at it, I listen, but I don't even post comment because I don't want anybody come to my door." I said, "What? Are you serious, counsel?" He said, "Yes, be careful." So I decided to meet with one of the most talked about lawyers in Liberia. And he's a public person, so I will call him Councillor Arthur Johnson. I was less than 72 hours in the country when I met with him. Councillor Johnson, something had happened to me at COVID center, and I talked to him. I went to a law office. I didn't get here. The other councillor told me to go to the court. And I went there with my picking with me and my girlfriend, just so you know. So I finally met with the counselor. They had a trial at criminal court. I think not criminal court, but civil law court at Temple Justice. And Councillor Johnson had a lot of people behind him, and I joined the group. And one of the councillors decided to joke and say, "But my man, why you always got people behind you?" So I just joked with the other councillor. I said, "Because we are his clients." But that was not the issue. That was not the reason. It was because of security protection reason. Okay? So I left. But my last 72 hours was so terrifying, horrible, and unbelievable. And because of the legal nature of the situation, which my counselor have advised, I actually got a 5.28 minutes video recording, and I have it on my phone. I'm not going to download that right now for you guys to listen to what happened to me at COVID Center in Congotown, Sophie Road, something like that. They call it place Sophie Community. So I'm going to start from, the end of my trip. And then today is part 1, observational analysis part 1. And maybe tomorrow or Monday we'll get to part 2, so that we can go slow until we get it done. We're just going to have a conversation today, and we'll continue the conversation. After I'm done, you have any question, you can call me. Mr. Kamara will be back. He got some quick family emergency. He will be right back, so don't worry about that. So my people, I got a COVID center like all of us do here in America. We like to ask questions. So I started questioning. And the people have already seen me as a different person. So that's another, disappointment. We are in America. We are called immigrant because we got alien registration number. I don't care how you came in this country, except the children that we born here. But all of us got something they call alien registration number. That's what they identify us by. So we're not citizen. Even you get citizenship, you still get it written on your citizenship certificate. I'm speaking as an expert when it comes to immigration because that's what I do as my part-time. So we go back to Liberia. Our own brothers and sisters, our country people, now our biological brothers and sisters, they also refer to us as Americans. People that have no interest in the development of Liberia and the well-being of Liberia, which is very, very unfortunate and disappointing. But it is the way it is. So I start to question about wearing masks. The first thing, the lady that I was talking to, she was afraid because I got out of the car and my friend pulled up to go somewhere else. So my girlfriend and I were together right there. So I said, I don't really need a mask. They said, but you still have to buy it because you can't do your COVID stuff. You have to buy it. I said, but I was just joking with the guy who was selling the mask, but I wanted to hear what they would say. I will buy the mask here, but I will take picture of our conversation. They didn't bother me. I did that. So I moved towards the next desk. I said, hey, I got a mask now. What next? Oh, you need to register this and that, this and that. I said, but even though I bought a mask here, I get my vaccine card here. I'm fully vaccinated. I'm tested negative from the US. I'm sure I'm going to be negative again. That's two. In fact, that's one. Number two, I'm also boosted. Yes, my card. So the other lady on the other side was not talking to us. She said, that you're American too, don't bring it here. So from one point to another, I asked her, I said, how much for the test again? They said $75. I said, hold on a minute. I will come here, I pay $50. I pay on the app. They got to have the call LRB, something like that, under public health, public health people. So we started already tussling already. All right. I said, but let me tell you something. All the thing you're doing here, you're not really supposed to be doing. I'm going back to the US. Other citizens of America are already gone to the Supreme Court and won against the federal government on the issue of COVID mandate. So I fall within that category. Okay, so I should not really pay any money yet. How can I pay $50 when coming? You're telling me that's $75 a year. In the first place, I don't need it because I'm fully vaccinated. I'm boosted. Oh, Kutiopi. So the lady calls my mom. Mom calls me. I can't credit nobody. I fire back. When I fire back, when I look, I saw my girlfriend standing there. I said, oh shit. So this is a different story. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, that is just me. If you have a problem with me with that, I'm sorry, but that is who I am. Nobody calls my mom, you go free. I will cost your mom back. So after that tussle, and then they started to hit me, and I back up. I said, oh, for real? You're serious about this thing? So I asked a lady that calls my mother, I said, but what the COVID story got to do with my mom? She went in Lofa County, I just came for visiting her. How can you cause my mom and you woman? Who born you? That's the question I asked her. That man born you? That only man born you? So the other lady came from the bar. A COVID center, Suffolk community, and hit me. So I back up. I said, if I hit the woman, probably something will happen and maybe it will go national, and I didn't want that. So I decided just to defend myself without hitting back. So everybody, about 7 to 9 people that work for government, I thought they were very trained and professional. That's what I thought. When I go low, one of the guys to call, hey, court, to come fight. They didn't stop there. They go in the community, community there where COVID is, or COVID, they call the Union side is, it's all the way to the beach. They went in the community and called Zogo for me. I said, wow. So on that Thursday, my passport drowned on the floor, and I asked my girlfriend to pick it up. She did. She was just like, from one point to another, she just looked at us and said, welcome to Liberia. So we thought, so I started a videograph then, and the king high on me. All of them want to knock me down to take my phone. I stood my ground. God really gave me strength. I mean, over 7 to 9 people fighting me, left and right, hitting me. I was doing my late high school, tackling to some kind of way. But you know what? My late brother was always with me, but for some reason that day I didn't carry him. I wish I had carried him. That would have been a different story. Because he Glenn picking too. And every time he was with me, he dressed like somebody who ready to fight. Who ready to fight. So from one point to another, a gentleman came, little bit elderly person, I think middle-aged person, let me just say, I think older than me. He came and went between us. All the women were there with some other guys and Zogo people. I can't enter the door. I can't go back to America, this and that, all that nonsense talk. So I tried to talk back to them, actually. But the guy said, my man, leave that thing. He actually heard me like this. And I listened to him. He heard me say, you gotta leave. You can't fight these people. These people have been beating people here. Nothing can come out of it. I actually captured his voice on the phone. I'm not going to call his name. They said they not be minister here. They not be white people here. They not be Indian people here. They not be all the kind of people there. So I asked you a question. So is this a government agency or government group that government trained to do the COVID work and I come to pay money, or other people come here to pay money to travel by, and people can just beat anybody and go free? He said, yo, my brother, I'm telling you, the people will beat you, nothing will come out of you. They play in America, yo. I said, okay, I'll listen to you. My girlfriend was talking to me too for me to listen. So I listened. So finally, it didn't quiet down. Zugu they came from the community, the side question. I said, yo, shut up, man. Go on outside for it. I was saying talking tough. So from one point to another, the guy was able to calm them down to allow me enter the building to continue the process. I have my credit card and debit cards. They said they can take it. I say pay the $75. I get a receipt here. And just what I talk about, I actually call SM Broso. I call their international number. I call their customer service number, local number. Nobody could just pick up my call for some reason. I don't know. And I didn't want to pick any chances of missing my flight, because the people already wishing for me now to come back to America anyway, even though that statement was very naive. Because if I live here permanently, I'm a resident here permanently. Even if I miss my flight, I will have another opportunity to fly anyway. It might cost me money, but people that we think know better, even people that got small education, you know, because that union side there, the people that, you know, what they call it, they come from a medical background. But how come they don't even have courtesy for their customers, for their patients, for their clients? And guess what? At the center, the guy of SOP there, it is posted what they're supposed to do for their clients. We, the Liberian people that go there to transfer our business with them. That SOP, I got it in my phone. Eventually, after the legal consultation, I'm going to get it posted on Facebook and on our website, Liberia Today. So I was able to go through everything. The debit card or the credit card they said they could take, it couldn't work. So my girlfriend got to get on a motorbike to go all the way to UBA, I think GT Bank, EAWA Junction, to take money from my debit card to bring it. And we succeeded paying it $75, walk away from there. So less than 72 hours to catching the flight back to United States. My whole time at that moment just went to zero. I felt so bad about the union of our country under George Weah. I felt so bad and embarrassed as a Liberian that national health workers doing a pandemic will decide to exhort their own citizens And somebody who called themselves one of their leaders will come and say, we usually do this here. So all I'm telling you, you need to back off. We can be you here and nothing will come out of it. And now America, yo. That thinking took me a long for me to realize the Liberia today that we got under George Weah. So I went home. I didn't step out anymore until my flight time. I ate my late toboggy rest and came to the airport. And that was it. Another funny thing, but very interesting thing that happened at the airport. We're standing in the queue, all of us standing there. That's what we do in America, right? So while we were there, we are waiting over 25, 30 minutes. This guy decided to backslide on us, so Liberian people in the queue, all men, and go ahead with the Indian people. So the gentleman that were ahead of me, he said, no, this is wrong. But he started talking a little soft to the guy. The response from the how they call them, SM Brussels ticket, ticket counter kind of customer service people. The response from him was so ugly in the world of business. So the gentleman ahead of me got annoying. So he said, you talk to me like that, the Indian man and his family, they will not go ahead of me. It will not happen. So he literally went on the skill and grabbed the bag from there. So people came in, NHS, I think National Aviation Services people, they came in to inquire. So I was standing behind him. So I told them, I said, this thing here, we need to stop it, my people. I know he got a little bit angry, he got irritated, but the gentleman provoking. We don't do that in the world of customer service. You need to talk to your customers nicely. The place we come from and what we do. And SM Brussels is an international airline. It's a European airline. So you need to treat us better. And the guy was very blunt. He said, just because they are skin white, the Indian people, and so you prefer them over us? And the guy got annoyed too. But the people came, they settled it. They took the gentleman that were ahead of me to different teller customer service desks. And they handled it. So I got there. He was already angry. So my carry on way a little more than required. And I tried to talk to him like, he started to talk back to me. I said, you know what? I'm going to go with you. I already went through it few hours ago, few days ago. I'm not going to go there. What you want, I'm going to give it to you. And I did just that. When I got back, he started to make friends with me. I said, man, let me tell you something. The place you're sitting down here, they're not your powerhouse here. They're not your power of my seat. When you are seated, where you are seated, you need to provide small courtesy for the people you serve. I said, number one, if you say this is a business class, you need to tell your bosses to get a business class only. That's what we do in America. So don't tell me, say, even though we're standing on the line, if somebody come with some form of disability, you're going to put them in front of me. I'm going to do the same that I got there. You know what? You need to get it rated. Those of us that live in America, that's why you get very with us. Because American people can write everything in black and white. You put, for example, I told him, in America, when you go to the counter, even, you will see it. Even at the airport, you will see it, ADA, with that disability sign. If you got here, ADA, only ADA people will come here, American with disability. So you all need to do the same thing in Liberia. But you're living in a crack hole, you just want to keep it right there. And that is a problem. So I can't be standing here and you put somebody in front of me and I'm in the queue. It is only for business class, you'll get it in black and white. Business class only, first class only, economic class, whatever class. You need to write it down so people can't be confused. So the Indian man listened to me. He followed through. He said, yeah, you're confusing us. You're causing this problem here. You're causing. So we were able to handle it. We made some kind of casual friendship, but that was it. I walked away. I did what I needed to do, and I checked in my carry on bag because I didn't really have any much time. Already, I was so pissed with what government workers, people that I pay. I pay the government, they pay them. They insulted me. I already pissed about that. And then I come in to talk with little boy behind SM Broso counter. I'm an employer, just so you know. I'm my own level. I'm fully registered and running an agency. So beside my clocking. So I can tell that to anybody. So you can't insult me or insult me just because you're sitting now behind SM Broso, customer service counter. So we resolved that. So we finally departed. We got on a plane. My people, those of you that well as SM Brussels flight, all their flights are equal. The flights that go to Liberia. Those flights, each of them can take either 600 or more than 600 human beings because one section of the flight, those of you that know about airplane, those of you that don't know, don't worry about it. About 120 seats. Do the math. We ain't talking about business class or first class. No. Economic class. That's the majority class right there. The flight goes to Liberia and pick up. Almost virtually empty. That baffled my imagination. It baffled my imagination. Even the Indian people. The Indian people plenty more than us, the Liberian people. Literally, the Indian people are the investors for our country level. Business class. They're there. They ain't plenty too. So we Liberians here in America that fly through the connection SM Brussels, number one, we should tell our God thank you for them to be in the air and they're waiting to go to Liberia all the time. And number two, we should tell them plenty thank you for them to be able to do that. Because in the world of business, it's always something we call profit margin. I want to speak early book here. How much we can get when we do business. How much profit we can make. That is always the concerns of the business people. What is the financial arm of the people? Accessibility. Rates attached to that. These are the biggest questions most business owners or prospective business owners were asked before they venture into it. You have an airplane that can take maybe 600 or more. And that plane leaves from Liberia almost virtually empty. Many people will not see that. But I'm politically sensitive. And beside that, I got some level of formidable education and experience. And that is why I'm able to see it. We get to Banjul in Gambia, small town, small country that used to be part of Senegal. It used to be called Senegambia. And I went online on SM Brussels airplane TV in front of me, just like everybody else. Everybody got TV. And you can literally go over there and research on countries or destinations where they fly. Liberia is part of that destination. And I was just wondering, why are these people going to land in Gambia before we can continue? So I click on Gambia. And majority of the people that goes to Gambia by way of SM Brussels, majority are tourists and majority are pure white people with small, insignificant black in terms of color. So I already knew why the plane was landing in Gambia Because I've seen the plane almost empty, and they can't go empty. They can't go by empty to Brussels. They got to get human beings. My people, you can't believe it. We'll get to Gambia, Banjul in less than 30 minutes. When the plane landed, the airplane get full to capacity, to full capacity. A big plane, it gets full to full capacity. I say, wow, for sure. So we flew from Banjul, something I almost flipped. We landed in Banjul, it was smooth, even though it was dark because we left Liberia around it was 10 minutes after 7. And we landed in the next 45 minutes to 1 hour, 25 minutes. So I didn't say anything. We all sat and we received European food as usual. So we landed in Brussels around 5:28 a.m. local time. So some of my colleagues were with me, and we had a gentleman who was kind of like behind me because that's first time traveling, and he was coming to Minnesota, Brooklyn Park area, and he wanted my guardians. So I did just that. So he was the first person I asked, "What did you observe in Banjul?" He noticed the plane landed so hard, I mean so smooth, excuse me. It was smooth. But I mean the light flashing in Banjul and it's not like that. I said, okay, that's not too bad. But that's not my thing. That's not what I actually observed because I already know that is the way it is. So I asked, did you notice we have almost empty plane from Liberia to Banjul? He said, oh, yes. So what you observe when we pick up from Banjul, you say the plane got for us a good job. You know what that tells me? As somebody who did business, our country has dreamed and sober and continue on that same path. The issue of international trade and foreign investment is almost to zero. We got Indians and Lebanese boys. They are our own investors. And you know why? Our government officials that we pay every single month and they steal money to, they don't have their own private flight besides George where I learned that he gave it back, but let just hold it constant. They are always traveling. They see these things. Why somebody is not asking the question that I'm asking? Why Liberia gone so low to a point where people are not even interested in our country? Under George Weah. The last time I went to Liberia visited, I was there for 4 months, was 2018. From February 2nd, 2018, all the way to May 27, 2018. It was not like that. I know the plane was not getting photo capacity that trip and my other trip 2015, but it was better. It was better. Small town Banjul get the plane full. And Morovia cannot even get 100 people. I say 100 people, couldn't get 100 people, including the Indian people. We could not get to 100, my people. So to tell you, not only us Liberians in Liberia or outside of Liberia, even the other people in other countries do not have interest in our country today because of bad policy, bad governance, insecurity, lack of freedom, lack of opportunities under George Weah. And when we say it, the way we say it, they are offended. So they got their secret killers that follow people to kill them. At least some of all who were in Liberia when Eddie Johnson said he took over, if you publicly, you know, disagree with Madam Salif doing her regime, they will try to find you to see whether you want to be part of it. And many people, you people are evident, including Nathan Teje. Nathan Teje was political officer for CDC. He was talking every single day. When Madam Salif appointed him as superintendent for Sando County, he went to confirmation process. He said he wanted to be closer to the government. When the senators asked him why he been talking the way he been talking. But the CDC people under George Weah, based on what I was told and what I observed physically, by with my own eyes, I had no other alternative. All I needed to do was to properly, and intelligently, professionally manage my terrain. And I managed it very well. God first, I managed my terrain very well, including my location services. I shut it down because our country people say if you're traveling in the rural area and you reach to a water side, that you need to cross that water before you go to the town, and you meet the people sing, you meet the children singing there. That is song they can sing in that town. Say 100 people, couldn't get 100 people, including the Indian people. So before I got to Morovia, Nahabel, I was already told to be careful. And you know, we are human beings now. We do everything we do. But the first thing is our own nature as human. And that nature, part of it, is fear. Nobody want to be harmed. Nobody want to be harmed like that. That is why we do what we do as human beings. And plenty. Today is just part one.
Yeah, but
so AB, I'm not cutting you. I want to stop here. Everything I've said, if you have questions, ask your question.
Okay. For me, I have a series of questions. I have series of questions. So when you entered into our country and the lady told you that be careful, what came to your mind? After 2 or 3 people told you that be careful, what came to your mind?
What came to my mind first and foremost was my personal security and my life. That's it. Because before I travel, I've seen things happen. Government auditors were killed.
Mm-hmm.
And President Weah said the other woman and the other guy that were having boyfriend and girlfriend in the car. I'm nobody. Am I important than those other people that they kill free? Am I important than Princess Cooper? No, I'm not important than her. Okay? The only difference there is that I live here. That's it. That's it. The other boy that go park car outside Jefferson Koji fence, I was in the country. They beat him almost to kill him. You think I'm better than that? Okay, another issue here is there are a lot of seditions in position. I know them. I know them, but coincidentally, I met with one of them. I'm not going to call their name because some people don't want name to be called.
Mm-hmm.
I met with assistant minister, a minister of gender. I was saying, I'm not going to talk that because some people don't like that. And the reason I went to Ministry of Gender is because of what I do every day. I do immigration services. You already know. Kangoma multi-service consulting. So majority of my customers have been asking me about the adoption story. They want to adopt people to bring it to the US. And I have not had the opportunity to be able to give them sufficient information with reference to Ministry of Gender / Government of Liberia own SOP as it relates to that. Because I had called somebody the other time before I travel and they said the price had gone up, which my lawyer confirmed. So I went to the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection to get the SOP, which I must admit the assistant minister was very generous to me, to be honest with you. We actually sat and chatted a little bit, but we started getting a little bit heated, and I get back off because she was very nice to me. She was very nice to me. So I got the SOP. We'll talk about that another day. And I will give you, those of you that want to adopt children to bring them to the U.S., by the grace of God, not this week, maybe next week, we'll talk about that. I got the SOP, and I'm actually working assiduously on the basis of law to see whether my agency can be listed as one of the approved and authorized agencies by government of Liberia. But they told me before they can do that, I got to do A, B, C, and D, which I already have the information. They're going to do that. Because in my mind, another thing that really struck me was the massive increase in children that are selling on the street for the survival of their family. And when I see children eating gari, because I go visit some family member or maybe friends, I go visit them. I get off the mother, but I look different. I look different. My parents look different just because I live in this country, my people. This is a kind of advice to all of us, not only you. If you are in this country, my people, if you are in this country, all of us, and you complain every single day about how things are hard, how things are not possible yet, and how it is tough here, I'm sorry. Go live in Liberia. You will not go in the dictionary to define poverty, to define hardship, to define environmental problem, because you literally smell the separate thing. I went to Center Street just to prove my point. People got money, market women got money, they're standing at the door of UBA. I said they say, somebody think I can't picture, I can't even take picture. No need to take picture because you're wasting your time. The people tell you upfront that Liberia, so Liberia is a continent, according to Jefferson Koji. Liberia is a continent on its own, and country on its own. The way people do things over there, including government official, is super different. And by the time you open your mouth and say that America did not bring it here, you talk more than that, they're coming to beat you. They're coming to beat you. They're coming to beat you. I was blessed and lucky. Where I live, majority of the motherboard guys got to know me, because every time they pick me up, I just do comparative analysis between Uber, Lyft, and the motherboard guys over there. Average charge for motherboard is $150. Liberty, which is just $1. Those of us that are here in America, if you catch Uber, the base pay transportation is $5.99 for less than 1 mile or 1 mile. So if I can pay $150 for 2-3 miles, I'm okay with that. I might even add it or to make it $200 and give it to them. You know why? Majority of those motorcyclists are not bad people. They are not bad people. They are doing it because of survival. There is no opportunity in Liberia when you are down there. And the people that we surrender our political rights to, they use it to abuse us, abuse the budget, and they do anything they want to do. Can you imagine the great United States? I left from here on the 7th. I returned from Fargo to Grand Forks. The other side of the road, they're taking everything out. But you know what? They need block the whole highway. In Liberia, the Pins Railroad, they block everywhere. And they're not really working actively like the way construction workers work here. You don't even see any motivation in the people. Then the funny thing about it, road construction is supposed to provide opportunity for citizens to work. You want to see Chinese people. But you get Ministry of Labor and you got Public Works that supervise these people and give them the contract. And nobody say anything. But somebody told me the reason for that is Nathaniel Magee got certain people in the community that has quote unquote Liberian own business and give them the contract and they sublease the contract. So when the people doing what they're doing, they have no moral grounds to tell them you can't do this. But that information, I did not confirm that information, but that's what I heard. But just on the basis of public policy and good governance, why will you get contract to a company that do not hire your people? Why you do that? There must be a motive. There must be a kickback. That's my understanding on the basis of public policy. I'm not going to Lofa County today. We'll go there maybe tomorrow or maybe next week. Then some people say Liberia is sweet. That's true. You know what made Liberia sweet? Everything is free. I went to JFK, AB, just to see what's going on. I went to JFK. JFK. You see human beings sitting there. People are hurt. F-wise. And to even find doctor to talk to them or nurses to talk to them is not easy. Some people go over there, they ain't get number. The doctor will not see them that day.
In your
Before
own
you get
country.
number.
In your
You
own
go
country,
to the
Liberia.
hospital, I said JFK. If you are under my voice, this is not something I ask somebody. I go there and see for myself.
In your own country.
In my
A
own
man
country.
have turned to a backers.
My
in our own
girlfriend
country.
mother worked for government for 27 years as a professional nurse. She carried me. Even the place I could not go by myself, she carried me there. And you know what? If you are in America, you must tell your God, thank you. You must tell your God, thank you. And tell the American people, thank you for giving us the opportunity to come to this country and live here. My brother, based on public policy and business analysis, Liberia Electricity Corporation and Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation can just employ enough people, enough young people, and reduce the motorbike story and reduce the keke story if the government were having vision to carry on expansion of those two corporations. Why do I say that? People literally can afford the price tag attached to this current business, ALCT. My brother, you in the community, LEC show up for 30 minutes. The children, everybody super happy. Look, literally the children and other people, whoa, LECO. Can you imagine that? Lee just said Liberia is a useful community up to 65%. They are right. AB, do the math from 1990. Do the math from 2003. The young people you find in that category.
Let us get our audience the chance for them to be able to ask you some questions. Because our audience.
Yeah, let me stop there. It's way too much. It is way too much. Let me stop there.
Yeah, because this trip was necessary. So what do you have to tell me in going back home?
You know what, AB? We can't give up. They need us. You know what they need us? Whenever people like us appear, there is some set of motivation, inspiration, and courage. But if we stay away, the bad guys go fast to the grip of power. To the grip of power. Honestly speaking, on my family side, my personal life, for the 35 days I spent in Liberia, I was treated with, I don't know how to describe it.
With
dignity. I was treated with love, respect, dignity, and you know what? I will go back to Liberia whenever I'm ready to go back. I'll go back. And you know what? I went to Liberia 3 times. I didn't go to Lofa County because of Barrow. That Barrow still exists. We'll talk about that another day. I will make it my business by the grace of God. Every single time I travel to Liberia, I will go to Lofa County. So nobody will tell me the story. I will see my own story and grab it from there.
Okay. All right. Now our phone lines are open. You can place your call now on 215 215 824 8124 or 267 938 2801. Once more, 215 824 8124 or 267 938 2801. That is the number to call right now for you to be able to ask our brother, our friend and brother, Francis Donor, the question that you have in mind concerning our country, Liberia. You can be able to ask him. He is just from there. I mean, he have gone there for so many things. Someone, we cannot say here on this platform right now, but any question that you have concerning our country, it is better for you to call him right now and be able to ask him. So call now on 215 284 215. Okay, we have a first caller. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, AB, this is Maxwell Hooks, Japa Maxwell Hooks. I'm calling from Johnston in Iowa.
Maxwell, go ahead.
Yes, yeah. I listened to your colleague, to your partner, and what an exciting story he's narrating. You know, for me, I visit Liberia almost every year. After the first 10, 12 years here, I visit Liberia every year. And in fact, in 2023, I will also be contesting, but that is not the reason I call. The problems he narrated are so appalling, are so enormous, especially when he talked about the security. That is, yes, where a government cannot provide protection of its people, including foreigners alike. It is troubling, AB. It is very, very troubling, and nobody should take this for granted. It is a serious issue.
Yeah.
But one thing he said, like all of us who are making every effort to go Liberia and help if the opportunity exists to change what is happening in our country, is the issue he talked about. We don't have to give up. Because our going home encourages the people. It gave them the hope. It gave them that motivation. It gave them that inspiration. Look, I wish I were right there. I would give him a hug. Yes. And that's what we need to do as Liberians. Because sitting here behind our little smartphones and grumbling and cursing one another and know what is happening, it's not enough, Eddie. We have to make the sacrifice like the sacrifice he made.
Yeah.
And I want to appreciate him for that.
You know, Francis have been making a lot of sacrifice, some of it that we cannot occur here.
Yes.
Francis have been a guy who have been, Liberia have been on his mind. He personally called me on one of the occasions. He told me, Abraham, you don't be saying that you are not ready to go home.
Yes.
Be ready to go home at any time. Let challenge them, put the challenge to the government. Challenge them, let them chase you.
Yes. So let me leave you, AB. I appreciate my man. You know, let's make the sacrifice. Let's go home. I'm going home in July, and I'll be fortunately for you, Lofa is shut off from Monrovia. I'm coming from Grand Crew, which is way gone back. But I will make the effort to reach to Grand Crew, and that will give my people some sense of motivation and encouragement that there is still hope to what is happening, and that we can change the bad things that are happening in our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Keep your call coming out. Francis, you have a caller there?
Not yet.
I'll keep your call coming out on 215 824 8124 or 267 938 2801. Once more, 215 824 8124 or 267 938 2801. That is the number to call for you to be part of this magnificent Abraka talk show this morning. We are back. We are fully fresh and ready. We'll be diving into many stories, but we deem it necessary for us to be able to dive into Liberia. What happened to our friend and brother Francis Donor back home? My brother faced a lot of challenges, but the brother had the courage. He had the courage to call Liberia his home. And that's the reason why, that's a beautiful part of this platform. So keep your call coming out on 215 824 8124 or 267 938 2801. That is the number to call. Francis, you did mention that the woman at the COVID center insulted your mother, and you give it to her right back. Don't you think that it was so necessary that you leave her with her conscience?
No, I never thought of that before, and I will not think about that before. Especially people who have been trained by government, and they should know better, and they are sitting over there to do a piece of job, and they are paid for the job they do. And they are also trained to follow ethics, especially when it comes to customer service, dealing with customers or clients. Okay? So if you sit over there, I don't consider you ordinary person. You are a woman. And you cost my mother, and another woman born me too, and another woman born you, I will give it right back to you. I don't credit nobody. I don't credit nobody with my cost. Anybody, even on the show, you cost my mouth, cost your mouth back, then we'll continue from there. I don't. Especially people in public service, I'm not going to allow your conscience to tell you you're not supposed to do that. I'm going to give it right back to you, so the next time you will do your job better. Because my mind has nothing to do with my COVID paperwork.
That's a
and just to add to that, the legitimate questions that I raised at that COVID center in Sophie, it was the direct thing that happened at the airport. Researcher AB, and those of you under our live view right now, your research day, don't take it from me. I'm going to give it to you. Every COVID policy that we got today derived from the government through the health ministry or health department, okay? So if the specific country does not require it, the government has the moral and legal obligation to inform their citizens. The disappointment is only people who are traveling that have been tested in our country. Even before today, that's what I gather. Only people who are traveling. So what happened to the people that living in the country? They are not tested. They don't even have vaccine to give it to them. They're selling it. Okay? So I go there and present my vaccine card from the United States. I'm fully vaccinated.
And boosted.
I'm also tested negative and I'm boosted. And the people tell me, say that your American thing, don't bring it here. You know what? I might not say the other thing here. The thing I will tell you, you cost my mouth because I raised my own advocacy on my own behalf. I'm not supposed to do that. They're lucky. And you know what? The trip gave me a better understanding
of how you should go, or how you should be prepared next time to go back home.
Next time I go to Liberia, I will be different. And anybody try it will spoil it. I say no. Nobody own that country more than you and I. We all own that country. Those of us that God bless to be here, excuse me, we are not better than anybody else. It's just that God gave us the opportunity to be here today. There are other people that already want DV. They're coming too. So what are you going to do? Okay? There are other people that already want DV. They are coming. And the reason I talk the way I talk is because I grab the information, I witness the information, I analyze the information, and I live with the information. So anybody who's a public servant, even private sector here, other country, you want to tell me you will not market your goods good for customer to buy it? You want to tell me that? And Minnesota have got the SOP posted that they should welcome, they should greet us and welcome us nicely. It is posted. I got it in my phone. I called one of the COVID policy maker who is a doctor, public health. And he told me, Mr. Duno, I'm so sorry. I apologize on behalf of the health minister and the minister, unofficially. However, send me the 5-minute recording you did. They damaged my watch, they damaged my cell phone, and you know what? Somebody going to be held accountable. I must tell you, those of you that under my voice, that thing that happened to me over there, somebody will be held accountable. I don't really need to do it, AB, but you know why? One thing that gentleman did, that they can beat you here free and nothing will come out of it. That's not America here. Coast can handle it. If they have been doing that, you know the reason they have been doing it and they have been successful, nobody has risen the bar. Nobody has complained that. I know Liberia is ugly. I understand that, but guess what? Unity Party won their case in court under Article 21. The Supreme Court came out with majority opinion. Okay? Just what we said here on this platform, I told you guys that the Unity Party, if they go to Supreme Court, Unity Party going to win that case lands down. Because why? I was married yesterday. If my relationship not going well, the woman get the right to divorce, I get the right to divorce a woman. It's just simple.
Thank you. We got a caller here on the line. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Hello, caller? Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Minnesota, AB. What's going on with you?
I'm doing fantastic, as you can see.
That's good. That's good. My name is Alex Sumo from Ball County. The fellow that over there, he and myself would travel on the same flight. So I just wanted to base on some reference on what you were talking on. I didn't even know you were the one that were on your show because you were wearing hats from the Raleigh airport all the way to we stopped in Chicago, you know, but now you don't have a hat, so I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
I shared an experience with him. We were 3 in the line at the Raleigh International Airport. We were 3 in the line. But then while standing there, the Indian guy just came from on the other side. He just caught in front of us, and they wanted to serve the Indian man in front of us. And the TDR said, no, it can't work. So we had a bit of argument there. I don't know if you can remember. I even asked him because he had to pay extra $200 for one of his carry-on. I don't know if he can remember that. So I told him,
yes, I do.
You don't have to pay that, that extra money. But in regarding to what you were saying at the COVID center, I had an experience about my experience was not bad compared to his. What happened was I went to the place. I'm fully vaccinated from the United States. I mean, my COVID result is negative, everything. But when we went to the place, they said we had to pay the $75, which I did. And then they asked for money, and then, get in, I guess some people $10, $5, whatever. And then I was trying the next day. But the next day I reached, I can't get my result. So I'm like, what's going on? I'm getting panicking because I'm leaving that same day. So I drove back to the center and they told me, oh, you're going to get a result in 30 minutes. I went back there 30 minutes, I'm not getting the result. So I drove to Brussels area. When I went to Brussels said, we don't need COVID tests again anymore because it was canceled. So when I went by there, they knew that it was canceled. They're not getting we're not doing the COVID test again, but they took the money from us. It wasn't refund. Everybody that was trying to took our money from their AB.
Yeah, but you know that it is canceled now. When you come into the USA, you don't need to be tested for COVID anywhere now. When you come into the
that's not what they told us when we were there. They said we have to do it. If we don't do it, we will not travel. And you want to come back and get back to work. So when I paid the $75, I paid the money. You know, but at the end of the day now, the next day for to go get a result, they said, oh, we don't need it again. But then we couldn't get the money. I said, got my own receipt and and what have you. But I just simply trying to say, I don't know the experience that you went through. But I just called to say, I remember he on a flight.
Okay.
We were on a flight from
Hold on, come in. Hold on.
References, but I know him well, but I didn't know that.
No,
Some of the experiences that he went through. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, AB.
Carter, what is her name and where are you calling her from?
Yeah.
Hello, Francis. Good morning, AB.
Carter, what is her name and where are you?
Yeah, my name is Rebecca. AB, the last time I called you, they gave me Francis' number, but thank God he's back on the source now. Francis, take my number. I really want to talk to you.
I gave you Francis' number, then you say.
No, you didn't say it to me. That I want to show we're talking about. That chairman gave it to me day before yesterday. Chairman took it, and I've been calling him, but he didn't answer it. So just give my number to him. AB, I beg you because this is very serious. I really want to talk to Francis.
Okay, I will get a number to you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, AB, let me just add on to what our caller said.
Mm-hmm.
The government of Liberia is criminal-minded under George Weah. That's just a fact. I raised the issue that I don't need it. Because I live here. I monitor politics, policies, and business. First, when the Supreme Court, when federal government made COVID mandate administrative, administrative decision. So I go to COVID center, I said, 18 years, I'm not supposed to do it. Get my paper here. They posted that you're American, you don't bring it here. And they beat me on it. Even though I stood my ground anyway. No problem. That's okay. I finally paid $75. I get my receipt. They're going to pay that money back. Okay? Because the legal consultation that I'm having with my lawyer, we'll get to that point. But the point here is, why they're taking money from us when they don't need to take money from us? I come to the airport, COVID don't need it. And thank God I did it, and my result came negative. Because I did it within the confirmed time. And I get a certificate here from her ministry. So that's the evidence. We get to the airport, Brazil doesn't need it. Then why you take the money from us? Why?
Okay.
That is the question we're asking. And I told them. And that was God then, angry. Those bunch of citizens sitting over there called and said COVID workers. I don't think they're really nonsense. They're a bunch of citizens. Because in the professional environment, especially health, people supposed to be so nice to their patients.
Yeah. All right. We
How
have
come
another.
this other group of people, they're not even nice to their patients?
We have another caller here.
Healthy.
Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? You are our last caller for the day.
Oh, Mr. Kamara, thank you very much for taking my call. And Mr. Donald, thank you for the trip. My question to you is this. My brother lives in Chicago. I live here in Pennsylvania. We are farmers in Liberia. We run payroll in Liberia. And we are deciding to go home to expand on the farming. At the moment, we got 25 people that work for us in total, both on the cocoa farm and the pepper and bitter ball farm. We want to ask for your indulgence. Are we safe to be there to enlarge in it? Because Our intention is to hire at least 75% when we get there. What would be your advice to us? Thank you.
Thank you.
I the first thing I will tell you, my brother, on the public policy angle, I will advise that you
Mr.
talk
Donald,
with the
what would be
government.
your advice to us?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
okay.
telling you now.
He is, just listen to the show. He is giving you his advice.
Like I said, on the side of public policy, the first thing I will advise you to do, you need to consult with the government based on your intention, because you already started it through the Ministry of Agriculture, and also, quote unquote, I saw you at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They got diaspora engagement office now at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. How authentic and genuine is this? I don't know that. Maybe they are only dealing with seditions. It's possible. Sedition from abroad. Maybe that's the only group of people they're dealing with, but they get a big name there because Eddie started it. So you consult with them and let them provide you security. Let them provide you security. That's why I can say on the public policy side. On my personal side, I will not say it on the platform. You get my number already. If you don't have it, I will call it 267-648-8012. The other number is up because of the same situation I told you about, okay? So you can call me on the personal side. We can talk about that. But on the public policy side, you need to talk with the government. Tell them your intention. You got small thing and you want to expand it and you want to employ people which they don't have interest in anyway. Liberian government does not discuss employment for the people. They do not disclose unemployment for the people. So they don't care about that. All they care about is for daylight to come and daylight to go, and Joshua go to Invisible Park and practice in the midst of crisis with gasoline. That's what he does. They made dedicated the Invisible Park. The pool out there will not cover. This man found something to do every single day that will make it to play. AB, you build a house, you dedicate it. Officially, you dedicate it. You and your family, you're living there now. 1 week, 2 weeks later, you say, no, they other room here, not part of they want. We will dedicate they want to. You buy the refrigerator, you put it there, you're dedicated, I want to. That's how we are looking. So Invisible Park is a new paradigm in Liberia. Almost every single day, the president is there, even in the midst of crisis. So they gasoline business and rest business.
Okay.
They may go to practice basketball.
Okay. My friend and brother, Francis, it was a nice time having you. And for now, we will stop here for today. We want to take your parting comments, your parting statement.
You know, AB, let me be honest with you. Sometimes it makes me to shed tears. Maybe other people don't see Liberia the way I see it, but that is up to them. And everybody not going to see it the way I see it. I see it from a different perspective. Because I came from down there. I came from way lower country there. My parents are not rich people. Okay? But they kind of training they offer some of us who give God the glory and God bless us to go to school, struggling as a Yana boy for 15, 17 years. I know what it is to eat kobo. I know it. And I still went to Lapa Bido. Not because I was hungry, not because I didn't have money, but just to identify with the folks there. Majority of my transactions I carry on buying something, I bought it from Yana Boys, including the shirt I own me. I bought it from Yana Boys because that's what I did to go to high school and finish. I started going to University of Liberia before I got job as Minister of Foreign Affairs. So I know what it means to live in Liberia, or to be born in Liberia and to live there. My temperature was never to the number until I got to Brussels, because I was sweating profusely almost every single day. The only night I did not sweat was when rain fell every day. I will not sweat. That's the country we're talking about. Then people say Liberia is sweet, Liberia is sweet. That's true. AB, if you go in Liberia with your limousine, with your Toyota 1997, whatever that is, maybe BMW, whatsoever, or you got somebody in the government that has government car assigned to them, and you get driver, you are not going through that struggle, you're okay. But what is the percentage of that number? Majority are people from here that say Liberia is sweet. And one of, I'm not going to call her name. Okay, I'm not going to call her name. We sat side by side in Brussels. And this individual told me Liberia is sweet. And I started to ask her, what made Liberia sweet? This is a place where people go to JFK, they can't even get nothing to talk to them. They say the place sweet. Why the person told me, say, oh, my son-in-law father worked for ABC and D, and they got the gigantic compound, and I was there, gave me a car, and had a driver. Only told me to pay the driver $100, and I went everywhere I wanted to go. How many Liberians in Liberia get that kind of opportunity? Even myself, I don't have that kind of opportunity. When I go to Liberia, I drive myself. Only on the motorbike when I drive myself, or my little brother took me from place to place throughout. And I must say thank you plenty. He knows it. I'm going to call his name yet for privacy reason and respect for him. You know, he did work for me. Every time I call him, he was on the spot. And we went where we wanted to go. Some people recognized me actually, and they were super nice to me, including the grandma at the airport. They were very nice to me. They are still good people. Even they, our board that follow all the time. Poker Robert, he even invited me to go to see. Other people invited me too. But I intentionally and intelligently let go all his invitation because of the same advice. Okay? So what I get to tell all of us here in America, Liberians, and other part of the world, we should not give up on our country. The philosophers say, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And under Newton's law of motion, it states, every action there's an opposite and equal reactions. What we see under President Weah today in our country, each and every one of them in the near future are going to be held accountable for their actions. And that is the reasons why we should not give up on our country. We should not give up. Let us visit our country. Let them know that we are there and we know what they are doing. So that we can motivate our people. So we can inspire them. So we can let them to know after the tunnel, there is hope. And that is the fundamental reasons why I told you to play this guy music, Rich Man. I've not seen, I saw him in the car. My girlfriend showed him to me. He's the kind of guy that just pop up in the gospel, gospel, how to call it, musical industry. And most people got his song as a ringtone. But then when we went to EAWA to do something, she showed me the guy in the car when I go low. His girlfriend was in the car too. She had just come from Liberia, here in the state. We actually greeted each other, we hugged. She asked me my state, I asked her her state. I'm not going to say the rest of it for privacy reason. He has been supported by her. She's a very nice woman too. This guy, I didn't really picture, trying to understand the wordings in his music because the data finishing. So when I got here yesterday, whole day I played his music. Look, I wanted to understand what he was talking about. He sound like a Nigerian, but he's not a Nigerian. I think he decided to use a tune. In that song, the man said, poverty and challenges are beneath his name. When poverty and challenges see him, they will run. Signal a portion. He is another level. And he go on further to say, I'm a new guy. I'm a king. And when poverty see me, it go wrong. And there are a lot of things in there I try to picture and put myself as a human being in that position as a Liberian. And I also put Liberia in our shoes too, based on what we're going through. Because there's a small portrait. Before he started singing, there's a small portrait there to let us know where he came from, how he used to be, and where he found himself today. And he go further to say, everything he do, the air he breathe, everything in his life, Nobody is responsible for it. It is God that in heaven that is responsible for it. And that is the key message that I got from him. So I want to encourage each and every Liberian under my voice this morning, or based on your time. Don't feel discouraged. Consider it as a temporary challenge for our country. Liberia is going to change. And nobody going to change it. We, the people, must change that country. I think we made a mistake. The people in the spiritual world, they say that curse. I'm not calling it curse because I'm a political guy. We got to use politics to change that country. And the way we do it is to go to the pool 2023, and vote out Josh Weah and his cartel. That's where we need to start. The next question is, the other people we bring in, what they will do, we don't know. When we vote into power, we will get to know their true color, because philosophers say power is corrupt and absolute power is absolutely corrupt. And the best way you can understand another human being, whether a man or woman, is to give them political power. And that is why I get to say today.
Thank you.
On the observational analysis part 1. When we get back on the show, then we'll go to part 2.
Okay.
I want to say thank you to all of you. Because of what I do, I let my phone open and I pay for travel pass every single day. Just so my customers for Kangoma Multi-Service Consulting could reach out to me. Some of my political friends. Some people who are now a friend of them on Facebook to be able to call me through Messenger. I let my line open. And the next time I'm traveling, I'm going to do the same thing. Right. It is a little bit expensive, but it is good. When I travel to Lofa County, anywhere Orange is not, Lone Star there, they'll switch me. Anywhere Lone Star is now, Orange is there, they will switch me to Orange Tower. And I literally use my international number more than my local number in the interior. So I want to say to everybody, some of you people, my family members and some friends that I could not reach you, I'm just so sorry. It was just annoying to me, embarrassing, terrifying, and horrible. But I could not voice it out because I wanted to manage my terrain based on multiple pieces of advice. So I want to say sorry. The next time we meet, the next time we talk better, we sit down, we go to La Pabido to eat. All right, my people. Mr. Tamara, I want to thank you very much for hosting this show this morning. I really appreciate it, so that the people can hear from me directly on the camera. Thank you, and thank you plenty.
Thank you.
It's your bonaro that it work out. That on money work out. That it still work out. One on.
I have to leave you here this morning. Trust me, we'll be back Monday morning, the same time, same place, same talk show. Bye bye for now.
On a blackout, you're here before. Yo.